Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. What's the one thing that keeps you awake at night? That thing that whispers in your ear, you can't do it. You're not enough. Stay where it's safe. You know what I'm talking about? Fear. Fear is the silent killer of dreams. It's the reason people stay stuck in jobs they hate, relationships that drain them, and lives they don't recognize as their own. And let me tell you something. If you don't face it, it will rob you of your destiny. But here's the good news. You were not built to break. You were built to rise, to push through and to thrive. Today, I'm going to give you the tools, the mindset, and the energy to fight through fear. And I promise you, if you stick with me until the end of this talk, we'll walk away unstoppable. If fear isn't real, it's your mind playing tricks on you. How many times have you worried about something that never actually happened? Fear creates stories in your head that don't belong to you. Well, here's the truth. You control the pen. You control the story. Rewrite. The root of fear. Fear is born from the unknown, from past failures, and from the voices of people who doubted you. But hear me loud and clear. Their voices don't define you. Shoot. You're stronger than fear. Inside you is a warrior, a fighter. You've faced battles before, and you've won. Fear only has power if you let it. Look back at every mountain you've climbed. That's proof you're stronger than you know. Fear versus faith. Fear and faith can't live in the same heart. One of them has to go. Feed your faith with belief in yourself, your purpose, and your ability to succeed. Reprogram your mind. Your mind is a muscle, and like any muscle, it grows stronger with repetition. Practice courage daily. Do the things that scare you, not all at once, but step by step. Purpose over panic. When you focus on your purpose, fear takes a back seat. Your purpose is bigger than any fear. When you know your why, nothing can stop you. Small wins, big victories. You don't need to conquer fear in one giant leap. Start small. Take one step forward today, and then another tomorrow. Community and support. You don't have to do this alone. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, people who refuse to let you quit. Together, you are stronger. Fear us few. Let fear light a fire under you. Turn that nervous energy into drive. Use it to propel yourself into action. Conclusion. Powerful call to action. So what are you going to do today? Are you going to let fear win? Or are you going to fight? Are you going to step into your greatness? Or are you going to let fear hold you hostage? Listen to me. The life you want is on the other side of fear. The success, the freedom, the happiness, it's all waiting for you. But you've got to take the first step. Today, make the decision. Fight through fear. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Because the world is waiting for the unstoppable version of you. You are stronger than you think, braver than you believe, and more powerful than you know. Now go fight for the life you deserve. Fear isn't real. It's a trick your mind plays on you. Think about it. How many times have you been paralyzed by the thought of something going wrong, only to find out later it was never as bad as you imagined? That's fear for you. It's like a movie you play in your head, complete with scenes of failure, rejection, and embarrassment. But here's the truth. Those scenes aren't real. They're fiction. Fear thrives on the unknown, on uncertainty. It convinces you to stay in your comfort zone because it's safe there. But what's really safe about staying stuck? What's safe about giving up on your dreams? What's safe about looking back on your life and wondering, what if? Because the thing about fear is that it only has the power you give it. Imagine it like a shadow, big, dark, and scary looking, but completely intangible. You can walk right through it. Fear isn't a wall, it's a veil. On the other side is everything you've ever wanted. When fear whispers, you can't, it's your job to shout back, watch me. When fear says, stay here where it's safe, you respond, I wasn't built for safe, I was built for greatness. Fear might be loud, but you can drown it out with courage, action, and belief. The next time fear shows up, look it in the eye and recognize it for what it is. A lie that's been holding you back for too long. A lie you no longer have to believe. Fear doesn't get to write your story anymore. Today, you take the pen. Fear doesn't come out of nowhere. It has roots. It's born from your experiences, your doubts, and the moments when life didn't go the way you hoped. Maybe it started when you tried something and failed, and the sting of that failure made you second guess yourself. Or maybe it's the voices of others, teachers, parents, or so-called friends telling you that you weren't good enough, smart enough, or capable enough. Those voices didn't just fade, they became part of your inner dialogue. But here's the thing, just because fear has roots doesn't mean it's permanent. It grows because you feed it. With hesitation, with overthinking, and with the constant replay of past mistakes. Fear loves to latch onto your insecurities and build walls around your potential. It tells you that stepping outside your comfort zone will lead to pain, when in reality, staying in that zone guarantees regret. You need to understand where your fear is coming from. When you recognize the source, you can start to dismantle it. Ask yourself, is this fear protecting me, or is it just holding me back? 9 times out of 10, it's the latter. Fear isn't your friend. It's the critic in your head that doesn't want you to grow. But you don't have to listen. You can choose a different voice, a louder one. The voice of your courage, your ambition, and your purpose. Fear may have roots, but so does your resilience. It's time to uproot the fear and let your strength take its place. Think back to a time when you faced something that scared you. Maybe it was speaking in front of a crowd, taking a big risk, or making a life-changing decision. You were terrified, but you pushed through. And what happened? You made it. You proved to yourself, maybe for just a moment, that fear doesn't have to win. That's the truth you need to hold on to. You are stronger than fear. Fear tries to convince you that it's bigger than you. But it's not. It's an illusion. You've faced challenges before and you've overcome them. You've survived moments you thought would break you. You've handled heartbreak, setbacks, and losses, and you're still standing. That's strength. The problem is, fear don't want you to remember how strong you are. It wants you to focus on the what ifs. What if I fail? What if I look foolish? What if I'm not enough? But let me flip the script for you. What if you succeed? What if you blow everyone away? What if you're more than enough? Fear thrives on hesitation. The longer you wait, the louder it gets. But when you act, when you take one bold step forward, fear starts to shrink. Every step you take builds momentum. And every small victory reminds you of what you're capable of. Strength isn't about never feeling fear. It's about moving forward despite it. You've got that strength inside you. You've had it all along. You've just got to trust it, believe in it, and let it lead you to the life you deserve. Fear doesn't stand a chance against the unstoppable force that is you. Fear and faith cannot coexist. They're like oil and water. When one rises, the other fades. The choice is yours. Which one are you going to feed? Fear wants to keep you locked in doubt. Focus on everything that could go wrong. Faith, on the other hand, reminds you of what could go right. Faith tells you to trust in your ability, your hard work, and the path you're on. When fear creeps in, it's like a fog cloud in your vision. It makes everything ahead of you look uncertain and dangerous. But faith is the light cutting through that fog. It's the voice inside that says, I may not know every step ahead, but I'm moving forward anyway. Fear thrives on control. It wants you to stay still, to play it safe, to avoid the risk of failure. Faith challenges you to let go of control and step into the unknown. Yes, it's scary, but that's where growth happens. Faith doesn't promise that everything will be easy, but it guarantees that everything will be worth it. The truth is, you can't eliminate fear entirely. It's part of being human. But you don't have to let it drive your decisions. Every time you choose faith over fear, you're rewriting the narrative. You're saying, I believe in myself more than I believe in my doubts. So the next time fear tries to take over, stop and ask yourself, am I feeding my fear or am I fueling my faith? Choose faith every time. It's the bridge between where you are now and the life you've been dreaming of. It's your superpower, and it's stronger than any fear you'll ever face. Your mind is the most powerful tool you have, but like any tool, it needs to be used the right way. Fear lives in your mind, and it grows when you let it. It feeds on negative thoughts, self-doubt, and worst-case scenarios. But here's the good news. You can reprogram your mind to conquer fear. Think of your mind like a muscle. If you've been exercising fear, constantly replaying failures, imagining the worst, and doubting yourself, it's become strong in all the wrong ways. But muscles can be retrained, and so can your mind. It starts with awareness. Pay attention to your thoughts. Every time fear pops up, catch it. Don't let it run wild. Stop it in its tracks and replace it with something stronger, something positive. For example, when your mind says, what if I fail? Counter it with, what if I succeed? When it says, I'm not ready, respond with, I've been preparing for this moment my whole life. Over time, those small changes add up, and you'll notice fear losing its grip. You also need to surround yourself with the right influences. Fill your mind with inspiration, books, podcasts, people who remind you of what's possible. When you constantly feed your brain with courage and motivation, it becomes harder for fear to take hold. But reprogramming your mind isn't just about thoughts, it's about action. Each time you take a step towards your goals, no matter how small, you're sending a message to your brain, I can do this. Action is the antidote to fear. It builds confidence and rewires your mind to believe in your abilities. Your mind can be your greatest ally or your biggest obstacle. The choice is yours. Start today. Reprogram your thoughts. Take bold action and watch as fear starts to fade into the background where it belongs. When fear takes over, it's easy to panic, to freeze, or to feel overwhelmed. But here's the truth. Fear loses its power when you focus on your purpose. Your purpose is your anchor, your guiding star. It's the why behind everything you do. When you're locked into your purpose, fear doesn't stand a chance. Think about it. Fear thrives on uncertainty and doubt, but purpose gives you clarity and direction. When you know what you're working toward, whether it's building a better life for your family, achieving a dream, or making an impact, you don't have time to entertain fear. Your focus shifts from what if I fail to how can I make this happen? Purpose is powerful because it gives meaning to the struggle. When you're chasing something bigger than yourself, fear feels small. It becomes a temporary obstacle, not a permanent barrier. Purpose pushes you forward when fear tries to pull you back. It's the fuel that keeps you going when things get tough. But here's the catch. You have to remind yourself of your purpose every single day. Write it down. Say it out loud. Keep it in front of you, because when fear shows up, and it will, you need that purpose to stay grounded. Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff, afraid to jump. Now imagine someone you love is on the other side, waiting for you. Suddenly, the fear doesn't matter as much. Why? Because your purpose getting to them is greater than your fear. That's the power of living with intention and clarity. So when you focus on your purpose, fear takes a back seat. You're no longer controlled by it. Instead, you're driven by something deeper, something unstoppable. So when fear tries to steal your moment, remember your why. Let it guide you and let it remind you that nothing, not even fear, can stop you from achieving what you're meant to do. Fear often feels like a massive wall standing between you and your goals. But here's the truth. You don't have to tear the whole wall down in one go. You just need to make a crack, take one small step, and then another. Small wins are the secret to overcoming big fears. When you're faced with something intimidating, it's natural to feel overwhelmed. The challenge looks too big. The stakes feel too high, and fear starts whispering, "You can't do this." But instead of looking at the entire mountain, focus on the first step. What's one small action you can take today? What's one way you can move forward, even if it's tiny? Maybe it's sending that email you've been avoiding, signing up for the class that scares you, or speaking up in a meeting. It doesn't have to be perfect or bold. It just has to be progress. Each small action is a victory, and with every win, your confidence grows. The magic of small wins is that they create momentum. When you achieve one, it makes the next step a little easier. And then the next. Before you know it, you're scaling that mountain, one step at a time. Fear, which seems so big and unshakable at first, begins to shrink in the face of your progress. And don't forget to celebrate those wins. They're proof that you're stronger than your fear, that you're capable of moving forward even when it's uncomfortable. Every small victory is a reminder that you're not stuck. You're growing, evolving, and becoming the person you're meant to be. You don't have to tackle your biggest fears all at once. Start small. Focus on the next step, not the entire journey. Because every step forward, no matter how small, is a step away from fear and a step closer to the life you deserve. Fear thrives in isolation. When you're alone with your doubts and worries, they can feel overwhelming, even insurmountable. But here's the truth. You don't have to face fear by yourself. There's power in community, in leaning on others, and in building a circle of support that reminds you of your strength when you forget it. Think about the people in your life who inspire you, who push you to be better, who refuse to let you give up. Those are the people who can help you break through fear. Surrounding yourself with the right community is like having an army behind you, ready to fight alongside you when fear shows up. When you share your fears with others, something incredible happens. They lose their grip. Speaking your fear out loud takes away its power. And hearing someone say, "I've been there too," reminds you that you're not alone. Together, you can tackle challenges that might feel impossible on your own. But it's not just about leaning on others, it's about showing up for them too. When you're part of a supportive community, you're not just receiving encouragement, you're giving it. And every time you help someone else face their fears, you're reminding yourself of your own strength. No one climbs a mountain alone. Behind every great achievement is a team, a mentor, a friend, or a loved one who helped make it possible. So if fear is telling you that you're in this by yourself, don't believe it. Reach out, find your people, let them remind you of who you are and what you're capable of. Community doesn't just help you fight fear, it makes you stronger than fear. Together, you're unstoppable. Fear doesn't just paralyze, it also energizes. That rush of adrenaline, the tightness in your chest, the quickened breath, all of it is energy. And here's the key. You can choose to let that energy control you, or you can harness it to propel you forward. Fear can be fuel if you know how to use it. When you're afraid, your body is preparing you for action. Your senses sharpen, your focus intensifies, and your body is ready to move. This is your moment to take that energy and direct it toward your goals. Instead of letting fear make you freeze, let it push you into action. Think about some of the greatest breakthroughs in history. They didn't happen because someone felt completely comfortable. They happened because someone felt the fear and used it as motivation. Fear can be the spark that ignites your determination. It can be the signal that you're stepping outside of your comfort zone, which is exactly where growth happens. The next time fear shows up, don't run from it. Face it and reframe it. Say to yourself, this fear means I'm stepping into something big. This fear means I care. This fear means I'm growing. Then channel that energy into the next step, the next move, the next decision. Fear is a reminder that you're alive, that you're reaching for something important. Use it as fuel to power through the obstacles. Let it remind you that you're on the verge of something great. Fear isn't your enemy. It's the fire that can light your path to success. The truth is, fear will always be there. It's not going anywhere. It's a constant in life, lurking in the shadows, ready to jump into your path at any moment. But here's the real question. What will you do when it shows up? You have a choice. You can let fear dictate your life, keep you stuck in the same place, paralyze you with doubts, and rob you of your dreams. Or you can choose to fight through it. You can decide that fear doesn't control you. It serves as a stepping stone, a signal that you're on the edge of something great. Today is the day you make that choice. Today is the day you step into your power. You're stronger than you think, braver than you know, and capable of more than you can imagine. The only thing standing between you and your dreams is your willingness to fight through the fear and take that first step. This is your moment. Don't wait for fear to lead. Don't wait for the perfect conditions. Rise, move, and break through. Every time you face fear and push through, you build an unshakable foundation. You become more unstoppable with every challenge you conquer. The world is waiting for the best version of you to show up, and the only thing that's been holding you back is fear. No more excuses. No more hesitation. Step into the greatness that's already inside you. Fear doesn't have the power to stop you. You do. So choose to be unstoppable. Choose to fight through fear. The life you've always wanted is on the other side. Go after it.